Hello there, everybody. This is King Mac, your friendly hamburger pal. Welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. Be sure to enjoy a hot, fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden French fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Thank you all for watching, and now sit back and relax and enjoy as Tony here brings you our feature presentation of TTBurger game reviews.
I'm working, I wanna be great, yeah. Working, I wanna be paid, yeah. Every decision I make.
Welcome back, my friends. You are watching TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube, and I am your host, Tony, bringing you the final part of my MotorStorm Franchise review, episode 253, part 3 of 3. Before I get started here, wanting to give a shout out to Freaking HD, Sub-Zero MS King Mac, along with Step Hyperlamnia, Prickles Goes Go Stateside, Megs, Black Healer, Griffin Puff, along with the homie RJ, Red Hood Assassin, Agajiro, Rockstar Pool 69, The Sensational Gent, and more and more. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone who has supported this channel. If for a few guys, this channel wouldn't be experienced today. And stay tuned, there's more content coming on the way, and check out the channels I mentioned in the shout out stuff as well. We're going to take a look at another PlayStation 3 exclusive. Like I mentioned before, I will not be covering MotorStorm Arctic Air to MotorStorm RC because those are spin-offs on the PSP and PS2, and I don't want to look at those. But before we get started here, those you missed what happened in episode 253, part 2 of 3. Here's a TTBurger recap, MotorStorm style, show you what you missed. I took a look at MotorStorm Pacific Rim for the PlayStation 3 and gave it a 9 out of 10 because I feel like it's the best game in the MotorStorm franchise. It improved on a lot of things that was lacking in the first MotorStorm, but the oversensitive and inconsistent vehicle physics and difficulty and opponent AI is pretty rough on the edges there kind of affect the game there, but still, not a bad game, definitely worth owning, especially like the original MotorStorm. Now we're going to zoom ahead to the year 2011, right around the time I was about to graduate from college. I was 22 years old, with the final MotorStorm game on the PlayStation 3, and we got it right here. This is MotorStorm Apocalypse, once again by Sonic Entertainment America and Evolution Studios, released on May 3rd, 2011. Now, MotorStorm Apocalypse, I will admit, is a fun game, but some design and gameplay choices affect the game in some areas, making it very frustrating to play with some small quirky problems and more. But it's not a bad game. Just compared to the other two games, this one is probably considered the least best of the three in the PlayStation 3. It still has some fun moments here, but we'll talk more about that later on. MotorStorm Apocalypse this time has a story. Surprisingly, the last two MotorStorms didn't really have much story, except for the fact that you're in the MotorStorm Festival. The story talks about the MotorStorm Festival going on while there's an apocalypse and stuff in the city, and buildings and environments are collapsing and being crushed and destroyed while the festival's going on. The story is told while playing three characters: Mash, the rookie; Tyler, the pro; Big Dog, the veteran, and it's told via comic book art style cutscenes with the mouse moving and stuff, which look really cool. But the problem is the story is really weak, and it pretty much goes nowhere. The characters, while they look cool, don't have really any development to them at all for the most part. And to be honest with you, while I do compliment them and applaud them having a story, just the story should have had more care and effort put into it. Because here it just feels like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to these idiots talk. Okay, I'm gonna go do it now. And it just, the story goes nowhere, and there's a lot of unlikable characters here. MotorStorm Apocalypse graphics are good with the cartoony comic art style approach, and while it may not be the best looking of the MotorStorm games, it still looks good enough in my opinion. Sure, people may say the graphics in the other two PlayStation 3 games, most of the games were better in the graphics department, but it does not mean the graphics here are bad or so. I mean, sure, I like the graphics better in the other two games, but still they did a good job here. The cutscenes look really good, and the vehicle environments are crisp, and the destruction, damage, and fire effects all look amazing. Especially lead during the race, and the environments explode or collapse, making it tricky and challenging to win the race. But with all the good stuff for the graphics, one negative: some serious slowdown and framing issues during the game when a lot of action is going on because stuff explodes or gets destroyed while the races are going on. And the slowdown can get really bad if you recover from like a crash or so, and it gets really like in the single digits there. But still, it's a great looking game. MotorStorm's sound aspect is weak at best. The voice setting in the cutscenes is shallow and phoned in, and at best, except for a few characters. All the characters, most of them, don't have any personality to them aside from them being mean and mouthy. Mash is probably the only likable character, but even he comes off as whiny and wimpy at times. There's no licensed music this time, but I still turn off to avoid getting copyright claims like that just to be safe. But the music is still pretty good. I don't have any complaints along with the engine sound and stuff. Nothing to say, and the sound of other clean stuff in the environment all sound good. MotorStorm Apocalypse's gameplay is fun compared to the other two MotorStorm PlayStation 3 games. This comes off as somewhat weak. First off, like I mentioned, you play as 3 characters. Mash the rookie, Tyler the pro, Big Dog the veteran. You play as them and the story, what happens to them and whatnot when they were doing during the MotorStorm Festival with the Apocalypse. Then the races start, and this is one of the disappointments here. You cannot pick your vehicle, you have to use the one they give you for the race. You have your vehicles from the last 2 along with some new ones like a muscle car, micro car, and more. The races do have variety in them, like race to get 5th place or better, not 3rd or better, or eliminate or get to the end of the race before the clock runs out. During each race, you're given button prompts to press the triangle button to see the track collapsing, or so you can find your way around it. You can also knock an opponent from side to side, or ramming into them then by giving the test momentum, pressing the square or circle button, and tons of destruction will challenge you for sure. Nothing to say about online play though. These are good things here for this game, but we have some negatives that do affect the store. The difficulty once again is all over the place. It'll take a nosedive up after like the prologue of like the rookie and stuff like that, and you'll just frustrate you. And I feel like the game is a little too lenient by telling you to give 5th place or better. Pressing the triangle button to see the destruction or doing it automatically takes you out of the race. The opponent AI can be brutal once again, and the story is weak with unlikable characters. Some of the vehicles do not handle well at all. The game is somewhat short. And the 3 main characters not very likable except for Mash, but he is not that great. He comes off as whiny and stuff. The final thoughts are, if you did like the other 2 MotorStorm games, there's still some fun to be had here with MotorStorm Apocalypse. Just be warned, it's probably the least best of the bunch for sure. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's the best score I can give it because MotorStorm Apocalypse was a good game, just not as great as the other 2 games on PlayStation 3. And that's pretty much it for my MotorStorm Franchise review, episode 253, part 3 of 3. Stay tuned because we got some more videos coming on the way, along with some more podcasts coming up, and some more top 10 lists and everything coming up. Because this is definitely going to be sure this year I'm active a lot on the channel still without having to get involved with work or anything like that. So I'll try my best to make it as much as I can, and just be on the lookout because there's more on the way. That's all I gotta say. This is Tony. Peace out, have a great day, and see you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Don't judge so quickly. Yeah, we all